Hello, everybody. I hope that everybody else is having a interesting quarantine. I also hope that everybody else's classes is going well because we only have one more week left. This book presentation I'm about to be doing is called Beyond of the Body Farm, and the authors are named Dr. Bill Bass and Jon Jefferson. And to introduce myself, my name is Gabrielle Schler. I am about to graduate this semester at State Fair Community College to get my A in psychology. And a little bit about myself. In 2017, I graduated high school with 27 students in my class at New Franklin, Missouri. And in the future, I plan on going to Avila University in Kansas City, Missouri, in the spring of 2021 to get my bachelor's and master's in psychology and counseling. For this book, there's like 3 reasons why I picked this book. The first one is that I love history. I love mystery books, and this people said that this book had a lot of mysteries, which I love. The second reason is that my librarian in my old high school read this book, and she loved it because Dr. Bill Bass wrote about all of his travels across the world, to help solve cases by studying bones in laboratories and crime scenes. The third reason why is that I want to read something different, because when I first said it, I love mystery books, and some of them don't really have much gore into it, and I want to read something different, like has a little more gore into it, because why not? The summary of this book is basically there's no scientist that's like Dr. Bill Bass, because he's a forensic anthropologist and he's been doing this for about 40 years. And he goes all around the world to study bones in order to solve cases and crime scenes. One of his cases that he did, there was a place in Knoxville, Tennessee, that's called the Body Farm, which is about 3 acres of land where human bodies are left behind. And Dr. Bill Bass discovered this and made the first ever laboratory for the study of human and decomposition. One of my favorite parts in this book is that when Dr. Bill Bass wrote about when he actually got sick after his trip to Kansas. The reason why I picked it as one of my favorite parts in the book because he talked about why his symptoms that he wrote about it, like having chills and vomiting, and I felt like that was kind of interesting because I wouldn't have wrote it if I wrote a book about when I got sick on a trip. But he did. He first talked about was when he started having cramps and then got weak from hunger and dehydration, which caused vomiting and chills. He ordered some antibiotics, but the issue is that they couldn't send the antibiotics to them because the channel they were at the location they were at couldn't send them. Luckily, someone else found another channel and got the antibiotics for Dr. Bill Bass. It took a lot of days for him to recover, but he finally got better. My next favorite part of the book was when Steve Owsley made his own computer program to help calculate the probability of the sex and race of an unknown skeleton. The reason why I picked this is that he talked about a lot of that a graduate student created his own like computer program, and that could help scientists help define what the person's race or sex of the unknown skeleton that they found in a crime scene. The reason on this is that if you're a young person like me or any one of you guys that want to accomplish something, then you can do it. You just have to have patience in order to accomplish something in the future, because you do not know what's in the future. The impact in this book of the bones is quite fascinating, and it's really, very important to help solve cases because they show how victims die by how they're like presented and examined from like the bone structure of the jaw and face. Bones are also useful because they can like separate DNA from bone cells and can figure out what the victim's race and past. Bones are also useful because they can help protect their organs from getting damage, like a stab wound, and can help move around like our feet to go to places. Dr. Bill Bass has worked for about 40 years as a forensic orthopologist from across the world to try to study bones to help solve crime scenes. I feel like that's quite interesting that he's doing something that he loves doing and not just for the paycheck. The reason why I said this is that if you want to do something that you love doing, then go for it. If not, then you're just going to be miserable for the rest of your life that you don't love doing. That Dr. Bill Bass likes what he's doing during his career as an orthopologist, and this is what was learned actually. He wrote the book to talk about going to different countries around the world to study about different types of bones from cases and investigations. Even though that he has spent over 40 years of his life to do what he loves, that we should try to find something that we love to do and enjoy for the rest of our lives. And also by the fact that the body farm in Knoxville, Tennessee is actually an interesting place to go to if you want to find body parts of bones in crime scenes. And the conclusion about this is that the overall impression of this book is great for people that like to read books that have a lot of detectives or forensic orthopologists like Dr. Bill Bass, and can know a lot about bones from crime scenes. They also talk about DNA and how they can know whose DNA it is from the machines they use in laboratories. I thought that this book is quite interesting because it talked about how Dr. Bill Bass helps solve crimes across the world by examining bones and trying to figure out how the victim died. I feel like that I recommend this book to people that like fiction like this book, and people that already died and love about bones. But for my personality, I just didn't like this book as much as I would expect it to be because of the fact that it was a little too gory for me, and because they actually, in the middle of the book, they actually showed pictures about what types of bones they were. And that actually concludes my presentation of the book, and I hope that you like this presentation. And yeah, Bye bye.